It's mailbag time here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. One of my favorite things we do here on the channel. Every single time we go live, we give an opportunity to you to script the show. We get to talk about what you want to talk about. Trade ideas, draft picks, hot takes, questions, anything in between. So make sure if you want to be a part of this in the future, you subscribe and turn on your notifications and tune into the live show. But if you can't tune into the live shows, that's totally fine. You guys can hit me up on social media, tweet me or DM me your questions, and I'll happily get them on the show in the future. I'm active on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search up Trizzy Trace on any of those three platforms, and you will be able to find your boy on social media. Let's get into the first question from last Keno. Trading players away for picks won't help the Saints. Loomis will just pick another trash player. He needs to go for us to find success. I'm going to ask you a question. Just comment yes or no. Do you think the Saints need to fire Mickey Loomis? Just comment yes or no. I'm going to play both sides of the coin here. One, if you fire Mickey Loomis today, how does that help you win on Sunday? Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily do that. But fire him at the end of the season. Fire him in the offseason. Those are things that maybe you consider. I don't think that will happen. I don't think Gail Benson is in any place to be firing Mickey Loomis. I don't think she wants to. And that's just the unfortunate reality of being a fan and not being somebody who gets to make decisions for the team. I don't think the Saints should be trading players right now or trading for players. Now, trading away, let's have this conversation again at the deadline. But I do think it's important for the Saints to hit on these draft picks. If you are going to make trades, you got to hit on the picks. All of that being said, if you're telling me you could get some really nice return and the Saints have 5 picks, you might want to consider offloading some of these players. But proceed with caution. I'm not going to sit here and say offload everyone. You still need to have a culture and you need to have, guys in there that can help you build the foundation because you're not going to be able to do that with all rookies. Want to give a lot of credit, though, to the Saints' most recent draft class. It feels like they're one player from being proven away to say that was a great draft class. I feels like that's going to be a good one here in the next few years. Nico Canada, legend of the program, thank you for your donation. When do you think they will turn to Shough? I'm not saying they should, just when. So for the New Orleans Saints, this is a tough thing to kind of talk about because I don't particularly see an opportunity until the bye week for the Saints to bench Spencer Rattler. And for what it's worth, at this point, maybe things change, but at this point, if Rattler were to be benched, I don't think it's so much so to the fault of his own, more so to the fact that you have to see what you got in Tyler Shough. Week 5, in week 6, you bring in the Giants and the Patriots. Week 7, you travel to Chicago. Week 8, the Bucs come to the Superdome. Week 9, you travel to the Rams. Week 10, you travel to the Panthers. You have a bye week, and then the Falcons come to New Orleans. So if you were to make a change, maybe the bye week would be the soonest, in my opinion. Outside of that, after the Dolphins game, if you get blown out, maybe. After the Panthers game in week 15, maybe. We'll have to see. I think the bye week would be the time to do that. That would make the most sense, though. Sneaky Vince. By the way, it's because you could give Tyler Shough more opportunities to get totally ready for the matchup with the starters. If you could only keep one, Olave or Shaheed? I don't like this question. If I could only keep one, what would y'all do? Would you rather keep Olave or Shaheed? Let me know in the comment section. Chris Olave, in my opinion, has more potential. He has a higher upside, and he's the player that you invested in the first round, trade up to go and get him, but has had a lot of injuries, has been playing some inconsistent football this season, and he's going to cost you a lot more money than Rashid Shaheed will. I think the best thing for the New Orleans Saints to do moving forward is not to actually get rid of one of those players. It's to bring in another big-bodied guy to complement those players. I like to think of Chris Olave as a similar player to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith started playing much, much better football. Not to say he wasn't good, but he was playing at a much higher level when A.J. Brown was in the mix. So I think that Olave is not a wide receiver 1. He's like a wide receiver 1A or 1B. And I think he needs that big-bodied physical guy to be the complement to him. Devaughn Vele might be that dude. So no love, Matt. That's a great question. Why is Vele not playing more than Cooks by now? You traded a 4th. Well, friendly reminder, you traded a 4th in the middle of the preseason. So Brandon Cooks, he's the experienced player. He's the guy who was with the team for a longer duration of time this season. And so he was more prepared going into the season than Devaughn Vele was with the assignments and with the playbook and with all of those things to consider. Now we are starting to see Devaughn Vele be around for some time, and Brandon Cooks, could be. There's an argument there to be made that Devaughn Vele should be getting more reps than Cooks, and I think that's a fair argument to make. But the why he hasn't been playing more is because he just hasn't been around as long, and it takes time to readjust and change from one offense to another. So I think that his role will continue to expand and will continue to evolve. Just a matter of when are we going to see him start to take over for the Saints offense. Now, Johnny M., legend of the show, friend from the University of Arkansas. Hope you're doing well out in Fayetteville, brother. Should we try to get Russell Wilson? No, absolutely not. I love you, Johnny. No, I didn't even need to finish this. No. Russell Wilson doesn't help. Russell Wilson doesn't make an impact. The Saints have operated this entire time under the idea that their veteran quarterback presence is fulfilled through Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and Scott Tolzien. I personally don't think it would make any – I see somebody doing the puke emoji. Swack, you're literally a Southern Miss fan. I don't want to hear it from you. I think that if you were to bring in a veteran at any point during the season, it should have been before the season started. So at this point, it just feels like it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to say absolutely not to that. But if you disagree with me, rip me in the comments. Cajun Daryl, would you draft LaNorris Sellers first overall? If the question was, would I draft a quarterback first overall, I would say maybe. And I think my answer is still maybe for LaNorris Sellers. Let's go through the quarterbacks here. Assuming the Saints have a top 3 pick. So let's have the conversation for just third selection, top 3 pick here. No, for Garrett Nussmeier hasn't been good enough for me. I'm okay. Maybe that'll change. Maybe you do it because you get him or whatever. I don't care. The other thing to kind of talk about here is, Cade Klubnik, not that good. Arch Manning, far from NFL ready. LaNorris Sellers is kind of the most intriguing name in my opinion. But unless the New Orleans Saints are absolutely in love with him, I would refrain from that. However, I don't absolutely hate the idea. I like LaNorris Sellers, but the Saints need to be in love with him to take him first overall. And if they're not absolutely drop dead in love with this player, I don't think you need to use it and force the quarterback pick, because the number 1 overall selection, it's not something you should be shooting for. It's not something you should be striving to get to. It's something that you should be taking when you have it, and then you pray you never have to do it again, because the number 1 overall pick is not a spot that is fun to be in if you're a fan base. Make sure you guys check out today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the whole wide world. This episode of Saints Now by Chat Sports brought to you by PrizePicks. Ladies and gentlemen, we make decisions every single day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. You can follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button. Check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab over on PrizePicks. If you guys want to check out the lineup that I'm rolling with this week, I have a fun lineup. $20 will win me $120. Cam Scadaboo and Chris Olave both find the end zone just one time. It's as easy as that. It took me less than 30 seconds. I made my projections, put down my money. Hopefully, I'm cashing in here on Sunday. It's the only app that also offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Well, now you can with the stacks feature over on PrizePicks. You can pick all of them in the same lineup only on the PrizePicks app. So download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. All that information is in the comments and description of this video. Shout out to Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Jerry G, appreciate you for your question. Is it a possibility that we will see Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau on the field this weekend? So injury updates for Moreau and Taysom Hill. Both players have been cleared to return to practice. We are waiting for the injury report to come out Wednesday afternoon to see what their designation is for those practices. In terms of will they play, I think if one guy has an opportunity to play, more than likely Foster Moreau. But if I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably 1 or 2 weeks away from seeing one, if not both of them out there. For what it's worth, though, interesting note on the Taysom Hill contract. Remember, he got a reworked deal. He'll lose $500,000 every game he misses from weeks 5 to 18, so there is a financial incentive for him to get on the field fairly soon. Remember, the practice this week will start on, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday we'll practice, and we will get more information. Taysom Hill, he worked that contract, created about $3.6 million in cap savings. He'll lose $500K every game he misses from weeks 5 to 18. So when will they return? Don't totally know. Is it a possibility that they go out on the field this week? A little bit. It's higher than it was last week. It's higher than it was yesterday. But I don't know if we're 100% ready to get there yet. Again, remember to subscribe because we will let you guys know whenever that information is available. Joe, good to see you. Do you think Penning has played well enough? The Saints have a better overall line going forward. I don't think Trevor Penning has been a liability yet. I mean, it's only been 1 week. He was inactive weeks 1 and 2. Was active in week 3, but didn't start. Now he's active in week 4. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was stood out in any way of oh my God, look at Trevor Penning making all these blocks. But yeah, the starting offensive line looked really good, in my personal opinion. I liked what the starting offensive line was doing before they got out, or before Cesar Ruiz left the field. Torsilli Simpkins slides into the right guard position now. In my opinion, the interior offensive line, either way, is still a need this offseason. Whether you're replacing Penning, Ruiz, or both, those are decisions you have to make. And I think that the interior offensive line is something that the Saints need to address. Drew, good to see you, bro. Tried to get me. I see what you're doing there, Drew. Mr. Peacock, do you think the Saints will win the NFC South? No, I don't. I think that this is the Bucs division. The Panthers got that 30-0 win over the Falcons. Then they get absolutely embarrassed in week 4. So, I don't really know what to think about them. I still think they're a bad football team. The Falcons are the Atlanta Falcons. They are not winning the division. Feels like it's the Bucs here once again. I just don't see a world where the Bucs get dethroned. Unless the Saints go crazy in NFC South play, maybe something changes. But it feels like this is the Bucs division once again. For what it's worth, I would love to be wrong about that. I think that this is just we're not there yet. Give it a year or two, then yeah, but not yet. Ray, good to see you, brother. Do you think the new system we're under will develop into making the playoffs by at least 2027? I think all right, so I'm going to assume you say the 2027 season. So right now we're in 2025 season. 2026 season goes through next year. There's improvements. 2027 season, we're making the playoffs. I think that's a totally fair timeline. I think it's a very realistic timeline. And I think that that's one that the New Orleans Saints and us fans should be operating under. Reminder, this year is not about getting to the playoffs, winning the division, making a Super Bowl run. That it could not be farther from that. If it falls in your lap, awesome, but it's not going to. This year is all about creating culture, setting the foundation, building a team. Because right now, of course, you want to win a ton of games, but you're not going to. You don't have the good enough roster. You're still trying to figure out all of the kinks in the coaching staff. You're still trying to figure out what your identity is, both offensively and defensively. I think 2027 is a good year to look forward to try to make the postseason, but I think this year is all about creating the foundation to then achieve sustained success. That's been a theme that I've said over and over on this channel all throughout this offseason and this year, and hopefully by 2027 this can be a playoff team. I do think that that's a very realistic timeline, if you will. It's like the office scene where it's like, how many years till the world ends, and it's like Dwight and Jim sitting in the break room, and they're like, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Okay, think about this real hard. 1 year. See, that is a very realistic timeline. That's how I feel, right now about this question. Appreciate you, Ray. Appreciate you, Jerry. Appreciate every single one of you who had questions here for us at Saints Now by Chat Sports on our mailbag. If you guys want more content in between these videos, I'm always posting on my social medias like I talked about earlier in the video. Just search up Trizzy Trace on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you guys like to consume content. And don't forget to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports here on YouTube. We just crossed over 51,000. We're on the road to 100K, and we're trying to do that ASAP. And you can help us out by hitting the sub button right here, right now. This has been Saints Now by Chat Sports. Our live mailbag is come to an end. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.